Hey you guys, today I'm going to show you how to do this bright orange look, perfect for blue eyes. I'm going to be using the ABH Norvina Volume 3 palette. Most importantly, start with a base on your eyelid. I'm using Incognito from Wet n Wild. It's a concealer, so if you don't have an eye primer, concealer works great too. Just make sure you use enough. I'm using a fluffy brush to just really blend that in, and I'm blending it up to my eyebrow. And then also don't forget your lower lash line as well. And then I just take my finger and tap it out, make sure there's no creases. We're going to be starting with the lightest orange on a fluffy brush. Make sure you tap out any creases in that concealer before starting to apply it, but then go right into your crease and don't be afraid to really blend this one out and bring it up higher because we're going to be putting other colors on top of it and we still want it to show in the background. I'm just going in back and forth motions and circular motions and then just lightly around the edges, blending it upwards. You want this one to be blended way up almost to your brow. Next, we're going to take a little bit of a smaller fluffy brush and this Cheeto shade. It's a little bit brighter than that first orange that we applied. And we're going to be applying that right into our crease and then blending it into that first orange that we applied without going as far up. That way that first one still shows a little bit and peeks through. You want to blend really lightly around the edges just to make sure that it's a smooth transition. Next, take some of that same concealer that we used before, and we're going to be taking this one on a flat, rounded brush, and it's very important to get enough on your brush. That way you can really pack this on. Just slowly start carving out the shape of your cut crease. Make sure that it's above your actual crease, so that way when you look forward, it's up high enough that you can see that whole line that you're creating. So every now and then just look up and check, and then if it's still too low, just bring it up a little bit higher as I'm doing here. Once you get the shape that you want, just fill it in and then tap it out with your finger and really get out all the creases in that concealer and also blend out the edge with your finger so that way the eyeshadow blends over it nice and evenly. Using that same brush, we're going to take this light orange shimmer and we're just going to pack that right over where we put that concealer. Make sure you go to the line as close as you can get without overlapping it. That way it stays nice and sharp. Don't be afraid to use your finger to pack on a little bit more of that eyeshadow and really fill it in. But use the brush to get really close to those edges and then tap it out. Next, we're going to take a red shade on a small rounded brush, and we're going to keep this one on that outer V. Just kind of pack it on there at first and really tap to kind of blend it into that shimmer orange a little bit, and just keep it right in that outer V. And then to blend it even more, we're going to be taking the brush that we used for that light Cheeto orange, and we're going to go around the edges nice and lightly and just really make sure that it blends in together well. Taking that same brush with the Cheeto orange on it, we're going to be bringing that down to our lower lash line. You're going to go almost all the way to the inner corner, but not quite with it, and just smoke it out. Now taking the brush we applied the red with, we're going to be going over top that Cheeto orange and blending that into that. And once again, not going all the way to the inner corner, but almost. Next, with a flat rounded brush, we're going to be taking that shimmer orange that we used, and this is when we're going to be filling in that little space that you left on your lower lash line towards the inner corner. And we're also going to be using this as an inner corner highlight. So after you get that on there, we're going to be applying it to the very corner of our eye and blending it up into those top shadows as well as the lower lash line. I'm also going to take it right underneath the arch of my brow, just enough to give it a highlight. Next, just take a black eyeliner pencil and fill in your lower waterline. Don't go all the way to the inner corner, but almost. You also want to take it and tightline the top waterline. Now curl your eyelashes. We're going to apply falsies and mascara. Before you apply your falsies, just wiggle it back and forth and get it to bend to the shape of your eye, and it'll apply a little bit easier. After applying the falsies, I like to take a felt tip liner and just fill in that little space between the band of the falsies and the corner of your eye, so that way it blends in and all comes together. This is the finished look. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you guys have any questions and I'll be glad to help. Any support is greatly appreciated. As a small content creator, it really goes a long way. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.